Welcome back, everybody, to the Clydesdale Media Weight Loss Journey. My name is Scott Schweitzer. This is my journey. This is Coach Cheryl Nasso. She is my nutrition coach, and she leads these things. But this is my goal, to lose 100 pounds by the 2023 CrossFit Games. And I'm going to turn it over to Cheryl Nasso for our weekly check-in.
Yep. And I'm loving it. We are in week 3 and I am working on a laptop. I don't have fancy like double screens like a lot of people. So just bear with me because I am getting excited that this is week 3 and you have been very consistent with filling in your check-in forms, which is, as a coach, when a client does not fill in their check-in forms, it's like, well, I can look at numbers, I can look at macros, I can look at those things, but I can't really know what to adjust unless I really know how somebody's feeling. And part of that is like, you know, it doesn't always have to be this great, aha, I had a great week or I had a bad week. It's just literally allowing me to say, you know, I'm not feeling super hungry. If I need to make an adjustment, knowing that that person isn't starving. Because if I see that, I'm like, well, if I don't know that and I see that the weight's stuck and I might try and make an adjustment without knowing how you're feeling, you'd be like, holy crap, I can't drop my calories. I'm starving right now. Whereas that feedback might have been important to me. So awesome job on compliance, because when it comes to getting results, communication is the most important thing. So
I actually want to pull up a graphic about that, because I made a post on Instagram this week. There was a huge illustration, and that makes me look bad and you awesome. So I'm going to do that now.
Yeah.
It just takes me a second to get there.
That's my
life. Yeah. So do you see that?
Oh yeah, I saw that. Yep.
So that is me being that during the inconsistent, not sending in my check-in forms for the last 6 months. And that was my weight loss. When I got laser focused and I was consistent with putting in my check-in forms, look at the difference.
Yep. And 100%. And even part of that is, you know, had the check-in from the beginning of that whole hiatus been, I just can't get myself to focus on this right now. Because I think people feel so guilty when they can't do the work, when they're just not in that place because they have other things going on, and they put this unnecessary pressure on themselves. And I'm happy that you maintain the weight, because I think that that's the main goal, is when you're not focused on a goal, the goal should just be to maintain wherever you've gotten to and allow you to kind of push further. And as I was talking to some, you know, I'm running a 30-day challenge right now, and some of the people that I was talking to yesterday on the phone, I was, you know, knowing that they have, you know, 50, 75 pounds to lose. I'm like, hey, we might go at this for 6 months. And I might tell you to, like, let's take a break. Let's take like a 3-month break where you're like not thinking about losing weight. You know, you're going to push hard and give yourself that time, because it doesn't mean that's the end of the journey. It's literally saying, I need to like take a second and focus on some other areas of my life and then push again. And as long as you remind yourself, it's almost like intervals, it is going to allow you to be successful long term. So, but I do love that. So awesome. This week, your big feedback that I want to point out is falling into your groove. And I want to ask you, what exactly does that feel like to you?
So the main thing is I'm finding joy at the gym again. Like it's not fearful. I'm making a ton of friends because I'm allowing myself to do that and not be afraid of what my performance is going to look like to everybody else. And it has been a game changer, because again, I know my why now. I know why I'm doing this. And I think I've now 3 weeks in a row, 5 workouts a week. I am dog ass tired today, but I feel like it's becoming a habit, and that's where I want to be, not where I have to be.
100%. And part of this is, and the reason I say this, because you are in your groove. And I think people, it's so easy to be excited for like the results, right? People get so excited for jumping on board for things for the results. And that's great. We want to see results. Like, I want you to keep making progress, which we might make an adjustment. I'm going to ask you a couple of questions today, but you have to enjoy the journey, because If you don't, you're going to fall off because you're going to be miserable the entire time. And you have to find a reason to want to eat healthy, to want to be healthy. And guess what? Your dog ass tired, your day today, your relaxation today is going to be so much more enjoyable knowing that the reason you're so dog ass tired is because you pushed yourself this week doing things that you enjoy doing. It makes the rest so much more worth it. And I'll just share, like yesterday, I texted you that I hit that 340. I was able to make the 340 time cap on that row. I was so scared of failing. Like you said, you were so scared of how you were going to look. I was so scared of failing. Why? The judgment. If I'm not able to hit this row, am I good enough to be a games athlete? Well, maybe I should just not even try. Maybe I should just pace it. But I would have never known what I was capable of in my gym by myself had I not done that. And I told myself, I don't care if the rest of the workout goes to crap. If I make that row time cap, I am happy. And guess what? It made that rest afterwards. I'm like, I didn't care if I had to wait a whole minute to get that thruster bar. It made it worth it to me. And it made it so much more enjoyable. So I love that. So in your group this week,
Well,
yeah.
a great example is today. I finished dead last in the gym. Saturdays are a lot of body weight movements, maybe some dumbbells, but maybe a machine. That's not my strength. Body weight movements are not my strength. And I was dead last, and I felt myself going to that dread, but then the community didn't allow me to.
Yep. Yeah, I love that.
And when I finished, it was high fives and fist bumps. And then I felt really good about myself for sticking to it, getting through it, and doing hard things.
I love that. I'm actually going to send this podcast episode to somebody that I talked to yesterday who told me that she has been she was very emotional. She's not been to the gym in 3 months because she's embarrassed of herself. And I told her, you know what? Your community wants you there. And they will not. The CrossFit community, it just gives me goosebumps because the support you get in a CrossFit gym, all the bullshit people talk about CrossFit, if there's one community that is not going to let you quit yourself, it's the CrossFit community. So I know this is your check-in, but I just have to share that. And I'm really happy that you're able to experience that. So, so you're in week 3 in your groove. The reason I asked about what does it feel like to be in your groove is because this is where a lot of people kind of fizzle, right? Because as I mentioned, it's exciting when you first start something. It's kind of new. You're really thinking about it. And now it's like, it's called like the boring work. It's showing up to the gym. And that's where you're like, you know what? But it's not boring. It's just automatic. It's becoming a habit. It's becoming part of your routine, part of your lifestyle, not this like a lot of focus, a lot of effort. And that's why when people tell me that they're getting stressed out about nutrition and training, I'm like, it should be getting easier. It should be feeling like less effort and more like you're just checking boxes. And that should really be what you do for the next probably 6 to 8 months. Like there's going to be adjustments along the way. There's going to be struggles. There's going to be things that come up. But this journey now that you're in your groove, it's just assessing every week, like, where are you at mindset wise? Where are you at, with the way you feel? And making sure that we are making the right adjustments to your program to allow you to continue to see results while feeling good. So that's why I asked about that, because you should be in a good place.
So, it's Labor Day weekend. I have company in my house. They are not following your plan. And last night, I didn't have control over dinner. It was in my house, but I didn't have control over it. I actually underestimated everything.
Meaning you
I
lost.
weighed everything. I weighed everything and then logged it, but I was way behind on calories because I was so cautious.
Yeah, got it. Yeah. And that's not a bad thing,
Yeah.
when you're trying. I mean, I'm glad that you did all the weighing and measuring and all that kind of stuff, especially if it's at your house. But we are in Labor Day weekend. So did you have Labor Day plans this weekend where you're planning on, having any social stuff going on?
So I do have something today.
Yep.
But I'm taking a veggie platter with me. so that I can gnaw on celery and carrots and stuff like that. The host is making a brisket. I'll have a little bit of that. My typical 4 to 6 ounces,
Yeah.
and uh, we'll go from there.
The only thing I noticed was there's this weird weight spike on your graph. Did you notice that?
Yeah,
Like,
and that
you
I
didn't
kind of
low.
wanted to talk about it that I've had 2 bad days of allergies again.
Okay.
And we find I found when I have a bad allergy day, I am very inflamed.
Okay. Yep. I agree. I agree with that. That was the only thing that I saw that was a little bit weird. But you did hit a new low this week at 336, correct? That was new low.
336.8. Yeah.
Yep. So that tells me that our numbers are probably in a good spot. We can't be in a rush every week to just like if the weight's not moving fast to make an adjustment because sometimes your body just needs a chance to play catch up. And I'm going to be honest because you had a rough workout today and you have social stuff today, I would much rather you not feel like pressured of like, do I need to drop calories? Do I need to change things up? What I honestly like is it is a holiday weekend and this is where like this is sustainability and lifestyle and long term. If your numbers are not perfect because you have a social meal plan that you want to be able to enjoy with friends and family, you should be able to do that. And that's part of the plan. And I always remind people, and this is going to make me cry, okay? Because I had this conversation with somebody once is like, whether you're 5% body fat and you're as shredded as you can be, or you're 55% body fat and you have a long way to go, we both deserve to have a cupcake. And I think that people that have weight to lose have this guilt that they can't enjoy food the way that somebody who is lean can. And that should never be the case. And that comes down to times like this, like a Labor Day weekend where you might have a barbecue. Like if I told you, oh man, I went over my macros because I was at a barbecue and I did everything and I logged everything, but I was over my fat by 10 grams. Like you'd be like, what are you worried about? So, like, is that going to necessarily cause weight loss for somebody? No, but is it going to improve their relationship with food and the people that they're with? Yes. And as long as you're staying focused on the goal, knowing that, like, if you decide to have a beer or two today and you're still hungry and you had the veggies and, you're filling the rest of your day with whatever fibrous foods you want to, but I want you to feel that flexibility, because that's really, really important long term. And if that's like if you have that one meal today and then you're just picking it right back up tomorrow, like I want you to understand that that's also part of the thing. Now, what people do wrong with this is they're either all in or all out, right? And they're like, oh, she said I can have a free day. And then the meal becomes the whole day and then the whole weekend and then Monday starts again. So it's like you're not that person, but that is a common trend is that people are either black or white thinking. So if you do have, that's why I asked if you do have something going on this weekend with your family to try and choose. If you have 3 or 4 things going on, then maybe you're like choosing what I like to call the party priority, like which one really matters to you, where you want to be able to like maybe you're smoking some brisket because I know you like to smoke food. Maybe you were smoking something that you wanted to enjoy. Like being able to enjoy those things is important. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Cool.
It's actually the mindset I had this week was I knew this day was coming. So be as good as I could all week.
Yep.
And then do my best that day, but I'm not going to beat myself up if I miss hitting every macro correctly today.
Yep. Where did you
I'm
guys go
going
to
to try to keep my calories down. What's that?
I was gonna say, did you guys go out to dinner last night? Because I know Friday night's dinner night, right? Friday night's dinner out.
We ate in.
Okay, you guys had
We
food
ate
in.
in, but other people came and brought
Got it.
food.
Got it. Cool.
So it's
Awesome.
kind of like a potluck thing. And
Fun. Yeah, that's fun. And I think that's the right mindset that you were, all right, I'm going to be dialed in because and that's what people need to focus on is like, the whole convenience thing is not really conducive to like, oh, I was really busy, so I just stopped at Chick-fil-A. Okay, well, you can still make the right choice at Chick-fil-A. Just because you're too busy to cook doesn't mean you have to have the fried chicken fingers. You can do that and be like, all right, I'm gonna do the best I can because Saturday I want to have this special day with my family. So I love that. That's the right mindset to be in. So and you feel better. I think people feel better when they're eating the right things, like hands down. Nobody, and I always say this too, is like nobody ever regretted making the right food choices. They always regret making the wrong food choices. Like I've
Well,
never
and I
heard,
gotta say,
you know,
3 weeks in, like just movement around the house is so much easier.
yep, energy, mood. I like to call those non-scale wins for the people that wake up every morning looking for the rite of success to happen when they wake up and they step on the scale and they're like, "Hmm." I'm like, well, how do you feel today? Like, there's so many other things going on. So, and that was the only other reason I
And
asked about weight spike.
I have had so many non-scale wins this week, like a butt ton, and I cannot
Well, tell
like
us, tell us. I want to hear them.
PR'd my deadlift post back procedure um at 265. And it was easy. It felt great. Um, everything was good there. I hung from a pull-up bar for the first time this week since all the back issues. Um, yeah, like things like that.
Yeah,
Today's workout, I didn't have to scale much today, if anything. I don't think I scaled anything, but maybe a little bit of weight on the dumbbells.
I
But other
love
than
that.
that, did everything. So like all those things are coming back.
I love it. So, good feedback also in terms of being in a calorie deficit for you is um I want to first ask you, how has your sleep been? Are you sleeping through the night?
Um, I am not, but it's not because of anything. I just am peeing a lot.
Nope, that's also good feedback in a way. So I think there's a couple of things. So the urination at night is common with some blood sugar changes, also with the intensity in the gym. But do you ever wonder where fat goes? Right? Like, do people know how we actually lose fat? Our fat actually gets excreted through our sweat and through our urine. So oftentimes when people are losing fat, they do find that they're waking up to go to the bathroom more. It could also be a cortisol response, stress. There's a lot of things going on. And the reason I ask that is because you are waking up starving. And this is also common when somebody is in a calorie deficit and they are losing weight. That's why whenever I ask people, like, when they're like, I'm just not hungry for breakfast, I'm like, you should be getting hungry for breakfast. Like, I wake up every morning ready to eat. And I used to be able to like wait and I would work and drink coffee. Now I'm like, nope, just get up and eat because it's like I feel like I'm waiting to eat. For what reason? Like, get up and eat. So I love that you're waking up hungry. That is also good feedback. And that's what I was asking about that. So I
Yeah,
mean
I
now,
am waking up ready to eat everything.
yeah, and that's good.
And then of course a couple bites of oatmeal and I'm fine.
Yeah, you should be waking up hungry, and you should find that that's a pretty normal thing. So, and it's not the whole breakfast is the most important meal of the day, but think about it, like you're fueling the first half of your day, which is likely when we all need the most of our brain, and all that kinds of stuff. And those people that have a hard time with nighttime eating, that they snack too much, it's typically because they've gotten into this routine of overeating at night, waking up and not eating, and then going too long without eating, and then overeating at night. And they've got this cycle. It's the same thing with the weekends. They undereat all week and then they overeat on the weekends. And it's this perpetual cycle. So this is training your body to eat very much in relation to your circadian rhythm. The way we were designed to act is that we rest, we eat dinner, we rest, we go to bed, we wake up, we're hungry, we work, we eat again, we rest. Like that's the way our bodies are meant to live. So this week, adjustments. I don't think I want to make any just yet with it being Labor Day weekend. I think that with you hitting a new low, and seeing that little spike up is also some good feedback that there might be some more fat loss going on. That's something called the whoosh effect. That's why I asked about it too. Like oftentimes we'll see like this big inflation of weight and then a drop in weight. So I think that there's definitely some things going on that it's not always just the scale. And that's kind of like the last thing that I'll say before I have you have your closing remarks is when you guys are on your journey, and I have Scott weighing himself every single day, it's not because I'm expecting a weight drop every single day. It's because I'm looking at data points and watching the average per week so I can kind of graph them and see how things are shifting, knowing that we're always looking for that. And I talked about that last week where we're trying to make that old high, the new, or old low, the new high. But there's so many factors in the weight. So like he mentioned, having the allergies, fluid, your different hormones are gonna, aldosterone is one of the hormones that regulates water in your body. If you've been working out a lot, you're gonna see changes. If you've changed your food up, you're gonna see changes. There's a bunch of things that happen. So it's important for me to see those data points. So that was the only other thing I wanted to say.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm in a groove. I'm excited to have the weekend with my family, and I'm excited to get back at it next week for another round.
I love it. I love it. You're doing awesome. Keep up the good work. And thanks everybody for following along. Guys, if any of you guys have any questions about your own journey and anything that Scott's saying is resonating with you guys, please feel free to shoot either of us a message, because I hands down love what I'm doing, helping him. And that's why I kind of pushed him to do this, because I know people that hold themselves accountable can always quit themselves. But now he's got all of you guys that are watching holding him accountable. That every single week we want to put an episode out. And sometimes there's going to be not a lot going on, but that's the way it should be. And I want you guys to also be following along, knowing that this is what it really looks like to be on a weight loss journey.
Awesome. Well, we'll see you guys next week on the Clydesdale Media Weight Loss Journey.